So today, we're diving into the idea of a digital Silk Road, and we're asking a really big question. Can a cutting-edge technology like blockchain actually fix a trade route that's ancient, but, well, completely broken? Just think about your daily life for a second. With a couple of taps on your phone, you can get a car, book a hotel, have food show up at your door. It's just seamless. So why is it that the global freight industry, a multi-trillion-dollar beast, is still stuck using systems that feel like they're from the 1950s? This isn't just a small inconvenience, it's a massive global problem. And the main character in our story today is this route right here, the Middle Corridor. It's this whole network of trains and ships that connects China to Europe. And, importantly, it goes around Russia to the north. It's a really old path that has suddenly become incredibly important. So why is everybody suddenly obsessed with a trade route that's been around for literally centuries? Well, let's get into it. The short answer? It's all about geopolitics. With everything going on in the world, war, sanctions, you name it, the usual northern routes through Russia have become complicated. So the world is desperately looking for another way to move goods between Asia and Europe. And the Middle Corridor is pretty much it. Which, of course, leads to the big question. If this route is so vital, why isn't it already a bustling superhighway of commerce? Why aren't trucks and trains just flying down this thing? Well, that's where the story gets really interesting. You see, the corridor is basically a 21st century idea that's stuck in a 20th century traffic jam. The whole thing is operating on systems and, frankly, a mindset that are just decades out of date. So here's what that actually looks like in practice. Just try to imagine this. You're trying to ship something really important, but there's no single website to book it, no one company that takes responsibility for the whole trip, no way to actually track where your stuff is, and zero clue when it's going to show up. It's an absolute logistical nightmare. Let's just walk through what a shipment actually goes through. First, the train gets to a border and they have to literally change the wheels because the tracks are different size. Then everything gets unloaded from the train and put onto a ferry to cross a sea. And the whole time you're juggling completely different sets of paper documents for every country you pass through. Get one tiny typo on one piece of paper and your entire shipment could be stuck for weeks. It's crazy. And this map shows the problem perfectly. It's like there's this invisible wall running right down the middle of the route. On the east side, you've got the old Soviet-era legal system, SMGs. On the west, you have the European system, CIM. Getting these two to talk to each other is what creates this mountain of paperwork and these endless delays. And you can just feel the frustration in this quote from someone in the industry. For 5 years, people have been pointing out the exact same issues over and over again. And yet, nothing's really changed. The clock is definitely ticking. Okay, so after all that doom and gloom, you might be wondering if there's any way out of this mess. And the answer might just be a technology that's all about creating trust and transparency where there is none. All right, let's quickly talk about blockchain. And for a second, just forget all the crypto hype. At its core, it's really simple. It's just a shared digital notebook. Everyone involved has their own copy, and you can't make a change unless everyone agrees on it. That means the information is secure, it's transparent, and most importantly, it's trustworthy. And this image right here visualizes the whole revolution perfectly. On the left, you see today, it's this tangled, chaotic mess of paper, phone calls, and huge blind spots. Then on the right, you see the future. It's a clean, straight, digital line where everybody, the shipper, the railway, customs, they all see the exact same information. It's a move from total chaos to total clarity. So why is that word decentralized so important? Well, think about it. Most systems we use have a central server. If that one server gets hacked or goes down, the whole thing grinds to a halt. With blockchain, the data is copied and spread out across tons of computers. There is no single weak spot to attack. And if you need any proof of how dangerous those single weak spots are, look at this number, $300 million. That's how much the shipping giant Maersk lost after just one cyber attack took down its central IT system back in 2017. It paralyzed one of the biggest logistics companies on the planet. Yeah, that attack, that was a massive wake-up call for the entire industry. It's exactly why Maersk went and partnered with IBM to build a blockchain platform called TradeLens. So this isn't some sci-fi theory anymore. The biggest players in the world are already using this stuff to make their supply chains safer. So what does this future actually look like? Well, a blockchain platform tackles every single one of the problems we've talked about. You get one single version of the truth. You can finally see your cargo from start to finish. All the documents are digital and secure, and the whole process just becomes faster, cheaper, and way more predictable.
But here's the twist in the story. The technology is here. It's ready to go. The real roadblock isn't about code. It's about getting people and entire countries to finally agree to work together.
And to really get why that's so hard, you have to understand the history here. For 70 years, these countries weren't really making their own decisions on the world stage. That was all handled for them. And that created this deep legacy of isolation, of just focusing inward, which makes cooperating across borders a really, really tough habit to build. And that brings us to this powerful call to action. It's a choice that has to be made right now. The countries along this corridor can either decide to cooperate and build this thing together, or they can just keep talking and let this historic opportunity slip away. I think this timeline puts everything into perspective so well. Go back to the 12th century, and leaders along the original Silk Road were building what were basically free hotels just to attract traders to the region. Then you have the 20th century, which was all about division. And that brings us to today, to this incredible turning point. And it leaves you with this really provocative thought, right? Centuries ago, they were literally removing barriers to trade with radical hospitality. Are we sure that today, with all of our amazing technology, we haven't just created more complex digital barriers instead? There is an old Chinese proverb that just sums this up perfectly. When the winds of change start to blow, some people will build walls to protect themselves, and other people will build windmills to harness the power of that change. Because in the end, building a real digital Silk Road isn't really a tech challenge. It's a human challenge. It's a choice to trust, a choice to cooperate, and a choice to build windmills together for a future that benefits everyone.